So this is the Poco X8 Pro Max, and here in the UK, it's a £359 phone. This makes it by far the most affordable phone I've covered on this channel so far. So when Xiaomi sent me this, I've got to be honest, I wasn't expecting much. After all, I've lived most of my life in the Apple ecosystem, shelling out over £1,000 for a new flagship iPhone every couple of years. So I was pretty blown away, really, when I started actually using the X8 Pro Max and realized, not only does it not suck, not at all, but there's actually some areas where it's just as good as the flagship phones out there. If you're new around here, hi, I'm Carl. I'm not some trendy tech YouTuber. I'm a very busy dad of young kids with a full-time job. I love tech, but I'm not that interested in the numbers or the tech specs. I'm interested in how it would actually slot into your life and the features you're going to actually use day to day. So let's start with the price. And let's face it, that's why people are buying this phone primarily. It's for those who are looking for as much quality as they can possibly get on a budget. And here in the UK right now, it's £359 on Xiaomi's website. And that gets you 256 gigabytes of storage. And if you upgrade to 512 gigabytes of storage, it only costs you £40 more at £399. And this is on promotion right now. Normally it's $469 or $519. But even so, that is impressively low for a phone that's this good. And the regular X8 Pro rather than the Max is even less. On this promotion right now, that one starts at £289. So it's clear to see it's a good price, especially compared to iPhones. But there's loads of cheap Android phones out there. And what really matters is actually how good is it. And I've been using this for a few weeks now, and there are some areas which I definitely miss coming from higher end phones, which I normally use. But there's also some areas where, to be honest, I can barely tell a difference. So let's go over the good and the bad. And let's start with the positives. Firstly, the physical build is excellent. It's a big phone. It's almost exactly the same size as my iPhone Pro Max. The screen is excellent. It's a 120 Hz AMOLED display, which goes up to a peak brightness of 2000 nits for the whole screen, so it's easy to see when you're outside. Content looks amazing on it, and it fully supports HDR in streaming apps. Here's the Netflix playback specs. The speakers are also quite impressive. They sound great and they go surprisingly loud. The speed of the phone during everyday use is also excellent. It's not a flagship chip, it's a MediaTek Dimensity 9500S, if that makes any sense to you. But I haven't done anything with the phone while I've been using it where the phone hasn't felt fast enough. Apps and content, they all load quickly, animations are snappy. This feels like a very fast phone, even if it's not quite as fast on paper as the modern flagships. The other area that is remarkably close to those current flagships is the battery life. It's got a huge battery inside, which will easily last me for 2 days of just average regular use. There's no way you're going to drain this phone in one day. On a light day of use, I've even gone to bed in the evening with it being on 75%, which makes a huge difference day to day. Unlocking the phone is also seamless. The under-screen fingerprint sensor is a fast ultrasonic one, which has been very reliable for me. And because I've also been using a Xiaomi watch, I've been mainly unlocking it with that. You can turn this feature off if you don't want it for security reasons, but if I'm close to the phone and I'm wearing the watch, I can just swipe up and it's going to unlock straight away, which is very convenient. But as you'd expect, there are some areas where you are reminded that this is not a flagship phone. The biggest one of those for me is the cameras. You get a 50 megapixel main 1x camera, which is actually quite nice. It takes really nice photos. Colors look good, it has image stabilization and a 1/1.95 inch sensor size, so it does okay in low light. Nothing that's going to get those flagship phones worried, but absolutely fine photos. Most people should be perfectly happy here. The second camera though is not quite so good. It's an 8 megapixel ultra wide. It's reasonably detailed considering it's only 8 megapixels, which is quite a low resolution. But the main thing that bothers me is that the colors don't match between the two cameras. I mean, look at the sand and the red boat in these two. Completely different colors on each photo, which is a shame. And I think that is something that the average person is going to notice way more. And of course, there's no telephoto camera. You can zoom right in, but it's just cropping and using AI to upscale it. It does do quite a good job with that though. I tried to actually trick it by zooming into a signpost which had text on it, and I expected it to mangle up the text all over the place, but it didn't, which was very reassuring. I also miss wireless charging. To charge the phone, you've got no option but to plug in a cable physically. And I'm so used to just having a wireless charging pad on my bedside table, which I just slap my phone onto at night. It is at least 100 watts fast charging though through the port, so that is helpful. Another frustration at first was when you're turning it on for the first time, the amount of preloaded apps which Xiaomi's HyperOS comes with out of the box is crazy. There's just so many odd little games which I've never heard of and I certainly don't want to try out. But once you spend a few minutes clearing them all up and deleting them, it's all back to normal and you can customize the phone however you want. So let's be honest, in the big scheme of things, it's not really that important. It's just a bit of a shame as a first impression. And I'm also not super keen on the physical design on the back of the phone. Now, this is going to be subjective. This is going to be awesome for some people, but for me, I'm just not sure on it. The pattern, the text, the pattern feels maybe a little bit teenagery. The text maybe not quite so premium as I'm used to, but it's not bad. It just somehow doesn't feel quite as premium to me as a physical looking design. And the little circle LEDs on the cameras on the back, they're a complete gimmick. I just turned them off and forgot about them. Overall, I've got to say I'm hugely impressed by the Poco X8 Pro. Really, the only area which I actually missed coming from flagship phones is the cameras. And so if camera performance isn't important enough to you to spend the extra money on the flagship phones, then I'd definitely recommend this, especially if battery life is important to you. I'm amazed that a phone at this kind of price lasts as long on a single charge as this does. And once you get used to a phone with 2 days of battery life, it is hard to go back. Right, back to my dad chores. If you found this video useful, please consider subscribing to the channel. It would be really helpful. I'm so pleased by how quickly this channel is growing, so thank you so much. Every viewer, every subscriber really, really helps. But now I'm gonna go put the washing away, so thank you very much for watching.